Welcome back, everybody, to the Building Code. Zach Witovich here.
And I'm Charlie Burtwhistle.
It's been a while since we've been in the studio. It's a Friday. We're feeling good. Charlie?
Yeah, it has been a while. You've been, as always, traveling all over, getting all sorts of luxurious gifts thrown at you. I've been here in the office, working, making this company money. But it's good to see you again. I hope your vacation was fantastic.
Charlie's a little upset. There's a little bit of drama going on with attire because...
Because Zach gets all this free merch. That supposedly, because if you remember from a couple episodes ago, Zach got promoted, very well deserved. And apparently with that promotion, you get a vest, you get a jacket, you get all sorts of stuff. I've gotten none of that. But I'm going to, okay.
Maybe someday.
I'm going to come into this episode more positive. It's an exciting episode. We have Scott Hale here in office, who works very, very closely with you, sits 10 feet in front of me. So I've been trying not to talk to him for a really long time to save our conversation for the podcast, and here it is.
This is the moment of truth.
Yeah. What are we talking with Scott today?
Yeah, so Scott is on the customer experience team in these Inside Buildertrend episodes. We get to kind of dive deep into the things that are going on. This is a newer initiative. I'm really excited to bring Scott on because him and I have had many a conversations that impact customer success, and he's one of our own. He comes from CS, and now he's kind of spinning up this new initiative. And I also am excited to hear him talk about how I'm his best friend at Buildertrend today. I'd be really disappointed if he didn't say that at some point. So let's get him in here. Scott Hale, welcome to the Building Code.
Thanks for having me. Excited to be here. Long-time listener, first-time visitor, hopefully many-time visitor.
Absolutely.
Ever.
We'll see how this one goes.
Yeah, we won't get ahead of ourselves, but I have high hopes. So Scott, tell us a little bit about yourself. How long have you been with Buildertrend?
Yeah, so as Zach mentioned, been at Buildertrend for about 3 years. So one of our own, started out training clients, was a customer success manager for about 2 years. After that, I joined the research team. So taking myself outside of Buildertrend, my background is in advertising. So came up through the advertising ranks, specifically during this rise of social media. So got a lot of time spent thinking about and trying to deliver on brand promises. And so ultimately joining the research team, it's like we're digging into what does Buildertrend imply to promise and how do we deliver that to our customers in the most effective ways?
Wow, very eloquently put. I love that. And I feel like that's something we've talked about a lot on these mini-sodes when we're bringing in people from the office. Our big initiative this year that everyone's really getting behind is customer first, customer first, customer first. And so that's kind of your entire world is how do we figure out exactly what they want to do and what they're trying to do and make it as easy as possible for them.
Yeah, I mean, I really think of it as connecting the dots between our builders and what they're saying, the voice of our customer, and then also all of our internal units. So what do our customers need from us on a support side? What are they expecting from us from marketing? What do they need our product to do to support their business needs?
Yeah, it's something that, when we're like redoubling down on customer focus, customer centricity, we're not saying we weren't focused on the customer before, but it's really kind of changing the culture of our business. And like in every meeting now, like there's kind of this feeling of even in data science or in product or in the technology team or, even HR and people who aren't maybe talking to the customer, there's this kind of feel that we're trying to focus on, and having a customer experience team on the user research team makes a lot of sense, who can kind of help us pull all those things together and connect all the dots and really create an experience that kind of is holistic. It's unified, right? From whoever you talk to, from point A to point B along your way with your interaction Buildertrend, you have the best experience possible. So let's just dive in a little deeper. Like, what does your typical day look like? What is your team doing on a daily basis then?
Yeah, great question. So we are just living in feedback. So many of our listeners, I'm sure, have been to our feedback forum. That is part of my team newly. We just inherited that. So we're analyzing what are the topics that people need, what are the gaps that Buildertrend isn't solving, and then who do we need to talk to get that in place? But beyond that, like you said, Zach, we're sort of taking a new approach and a sort of revitalized approach to listening to our customers. So my team is constantly building out surveys. Again, many of our users are going to start seeing more emails with surveys in their inboxes. You're going to notice that Buildertrend, the software itself, is going to start asking you questions if you haven't already been asked. And hopefully, we're just trying to stay out of the way at the same time. We know that builders are trying to get their job done, but we need to know where we're missing the mark and not helping them get their job done. So if you see those emails, answer them. We get those answer rates up. We don't have to ask in platform so much anymore. But the reality is when you're right in the moment, that's when we need the feedback.
So that's something since I started working in data science, have started doing is filling out surveys a lot more. Like before,
you're like empathetic to the
not empathetic, but now that I've seen like Scott and his team and how they're in meeting and presenting, hey, people answered this, so we're going to make XYZ changes to make it better. I'm like, oh, that makes total sense. So now I was like, wait, what I say will actually make the product better for me. Why wouldn't you answer? And then in like the comment section, I always say like, hey, huge shout out to your data science team. Follow me on LinkedIn. We can connect.
Wait, you plug yourself on like Microsoft Teams surveys?
I say check out the like when I get emails from products I use.
Oh yeah.
I say check out the Building Code podcast at Charley Burt on all socials. Yeah.
Well, Charley,
check out my co-presenter. He's really great. Actually, don't.
Well, Charlie, you joke, right? So data science, we sit so close to each other. We don't directly talk to each other, but we really are two sides of the same coin.
Right.
And it's been really cool to see how all of the data we collect tells a story, and then all of the insights we have, or all the interactions we have, provide insights that tell that same story with a little bit different narrative. And so our work is always partnered together really closely, which is great.
Yeah, the metaphor I always give on like interviews and stuff when I'm trying to explain like the data science team versus the data research team user experience is, what good is spotting the iceberg if you can't steer the ship? And I feel like you can find a ton of really, really good insights and forecasts and trends and data. But if you're not actually talking to the customer to understand why it's using that way or why it's training that way or how we can improve it, you can't really steer the ship. So it's been, a very fun and beneficial collaboration across the research team there.
Yeah, and it's been, like I said, I'm relatively new to this. We got about a year under my belt. So you got to get your feet wet. I think something Buildertrend does really well is support its own, bring people up through the ranks. And people ask me, what's your favorite research initiative so far? And always bring up, I spent 2 years interviewing customers, helping them with their businesses, and developing my own stories and my own insights that I now get to sort of spread through the company a little bit broader.
Yeah, if possible, can you share some of the work that you're doing right now to kind of help Buildertrend users? I know we've got some big projects, so I'd love to hear a tangible example of something that maybe you're kind of actively working on with your team.
Yeah, absolutely. The big one is the mass update to our estimate feature. So we started this such a long time ago, and our team went into work mode, and they built this massive tool. And if we're going to sort of throw our hands up and say there were some things that we didn't know, there were some bugs under the rocks we didn't see coming. So the big initiative for about half my team right now is looking at that estimate, saying what landed and what do we need to tweak to make it work for everybody. And so we're working directly with our product teams. My team has gathered every single piece of feedback we've heard in the last year as people had their hands on this tool. And we've summarized it, we've organized, we've been reaching out to builders to understand more about what they're saying. So the more clarity we can build onto those insights, the easier it is for a product team to deliver something that lands with our customers. Because ultimately, that's what we're here for, is to support the business, to make them successful. When our builders win, we win. We hear it around these walls every single day, and we're sort of bringing that to the next level, especially with estimates. So, yeah, you'll see upcoming iterative releases to that estimate that are directly from things people have told us. I like to tell my team, identify the smoke, go find the fire, and then product can put it out.
Wow. Love that. Put that on a T-shirt right there.
Got another one. Cole, we need another T-shirt.
We got a long-running list. Maybe if Zach starts suggesting them, we'll actually start getting them.
The big T-shirt company.
Yeah. The past few guests that we've had on for these minisodes have been people in the product team, and they always start with, well, we looked at the data, we looked at the research, and now we're seeing where that came from, which is really, really cool. So what does that kind of collaboration look like, I guess? How do you normally take these findings and distribute them down to the people that are putting out the fires, as you put it?
Yeah, so we're specifically focused on the release cycle right now. And so we view it as every product owner just has a bunch of tools in their tool belt. And one is the customer experience team. And so where we live is, what have builders already said, or what do we need to know from them in bulk? So what can we survey? Who can we ask? Who are the users that we can find to talk to? Because that's the ultimate thing. We're looking for insights from interactions at this point. Does that kind of answer the question? It's such a collaborative process. They're sitting together in meetings every day. Releases go through tons and tons of meetings before they actually see the light of day. And so the CX team is sitting in those meetings, making sure that nobody is talking about things that builders aren't talking about.
No, yeah, that definitely answers my question. I guess it also is not just product focused, right? You work with Zach and the CS team a little bit on improving the onboarding and training experience too as well, right?
Yeah, 100%. Because that's where we really started in customer experience. Was we said, our product team, they can build a product, but where we can improve is with our interactions. So yeah, we started looking at all of our marketing emails, all of the emails our reps send, every single phone call our sales team and our market or success team make. And what we found is they're doing really well. We're communicating pretty well. We just need to focus on sort of handoffs between the teams and between the interactions. So what's happening while you're not on the phone with us or while you're not reading our emails? And that's where we're starting to, send those surveys. It's like, hey, where can we do better for you?
Yeah, and it's really kind of been exciting from a CX metric. Like every business owner is familiar with like KPIs and kind of the outputs of like the business being healthy and successful. And obviously Buildertrend looks at that. And we've kind of started to talk about, from a confidence, how are builders really feeling about the commitment to Buildertrend that they're having? How easy is it to use the product? How good of an experience is it? And I think as we continue to kind of put those in front of our own internal teams, it's only going to lead to better interactions across our entire organization, from sales through to product and customer experience. And it was no easy lift. I mean, it's been something that I've had a front row seat into his entire world of kind of what it looks like. And I'm excited to see how it continues to evolve over the next year.
Yeah, you nailed it. I mean, not to tip the cards too much, but I mean, how confident are you that Buildertrend can support your business needs? It's truly obvious that if that's what we're aimed at, is solving business needs, your confidence should grow in Buildertrend as a company and as a partner. And Buildertrend should always be easier to use. Like I said earlier, you're trying to get a job done, and Buildertrend's just helping you try to get that job done so as easy as possible. And then satisfaction speaks for itself as well. Are you happy doing what you're doing? Those are the kind of questions that we need to know. I love a good open-ended survey question. That's when you ask about my day-to-day, I spend at least an hour or two just sifting through survey responses, and those open ends that's my bread and butter. I love analyzing and sort of telling a story with those.
Is there any feedback you get that just kind of makes you like chuckle, or something that you can share that you're just like wow, okay?
I don't want to accidentally throw anybody under the bus. No,
we'll keep it anonymous.
No, my favorite responses are the ones that are just brutally honest. Like, you can't hurt our feelings. That's why we send them. That's why we send those surveys. And then outside of that, the ones I get a chuckle out of are the people who take on their own language for the types of things they're using Buildertrend for. Because what that says to me is, like, as a community, that business is speaking of the way that Buildertrend connects to their company in ways we never thought of. And so it sort of sheds some light on the day-to-day of builders. And so again, I love connecting those dots and saying, we think of these features with these names and these terms, but people take them and make them their own. And so it's really cool to share that with people.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's like kind of your new role, Zach, right? Is like taking a lot of that feedback and like making these changes on the CS floor.
Totally. I mean, as we've gotten more nuance and understanding what defines a good experience, I mean, we would be foolish not to change how we've traditionally done our customer success and really reevaluate, like, when is the right time to reach out versus when is a customer getting what they need, and respecting that and saying you're getting the value you're looking for. We're here for you when you need us, but we don't necessarily have to continue to, hit you with phone calls and emails. And at a certain point, like, you're getting what you want. And as long as you're aware of what resources exist, those metrics that we measure of confidence and effort and satisfaction should continue to grow, and same with their product adoption and all the things that come with it. So it's really cool because Scott and I work really closely, and it's kind of representative of Buildertrend's metamorphosis as being cross-functional, because we have Kaylee in marketing that, we're kind of the trio of, that whole messaging, the journey, and the customer experience from a high touch standpoint. And then, like, we have you in data science who can, like, give us those business analytic insights to make even more decisions. And we've got other people across the org that support us as well, like Scott working with product to then improve that so that everybody's benefiting. It's extremely exciting. I can't wait to see, like, in a year what Buildertrend looks like, because we've only been doing these types of cross-functional things to this level over the last 5 months. We've already made so much progress, and it's really, really cool.
It's amazing what happens when you get everybody in the room.
Yeah, the power of collaboration. If only Charlie would start being nice to me, imagine what we could accomplish.
Well, you used a really good word there, metamorphosis. That was big time. And it was also very cool of you to give data science a shout out. So I feel like we got to shout out Brooks Coleman, who's the person 100%. On my team that is actually doing all this work. So I appreciate you saying data science and looking at me, but you mainly just meant Brooks.
That's true. Yeah, he's actually my favorite. That's not true. That would leave Mitch out to dry, and I can't do that.
Wow, huge shout out for Brooks and Mitch. So hopefully they're listening.
You got a team of rock stars. We all know it.
Yeah, I mean, Zach, you're glossing over the good stuff. I mean, we couldn't do it without Brooks. The research team, Abby Meyer's always on top of it. Katie Brown's team, she's been a multi-time guest, I think.
Yeah,
So
she's on the Hall of Fame of the building code for sure.
Yeah, so I mean, it's truly representative of the entire company. But you also glossed over the word journey there, right? Like, that's the ultimate goal of our customer experience team, is to understand the builder point of view and which journeys they're going through and how we usher them through those journeys, right? We just want to be that great partner.
Love it. Scott, we're about up against the time here. Is there anything else you'd like to add in regards to the CX team or anything that you're working at Buildertrend?
No, like I said, I mean, we're just kind of getting our feet off the ground at this point. We've got all the support and metamorphosis. I think that's probably the word of the podcast at this point.
Yep.
So yeah, it's more t-shirts. It's just, I mean, more to come. I'm excited to continue to just like carry that voice of the customer through every department in Buildertrend.
And if there's one thing you learned listening to this podcast, answer those survey questions.
Answer the surveys.
Because that is what's going to make the difference. We promise.
Absolutely. And give podcast recommendations in there while you're in there, because you know that Scott reads them all now. So
we brought Scott on, and now Scott's going through our building code reviews.
he should.
What would be our CX metrics for the building code? Charley insults to Zach?
Yeah, something like that. T-shirt ideas. It would be, on that note, you can like this on Spotify or Apple.
Like, comment, subscribe, baby.
Comment.
Check us out on YouTube.
That'd be fantastic. We love some listener engagement.
Yeah.
So on the note of customer experience, do all those things. That'd be fantastic.
Scott, Charley likes to say you got to pump those numbies.
You got to pump the numbies for sure. Thank you very much for coming on. Another fantastic episode. I love these mini-sodes.
Me too.
It's nice to take a step back out of like our day-to-day work of working with these people and actually talk about high-level impact they're making.
I like how you just called them these people.
our guests, I guess.
Our colleagues and professionals.
Yeah, colleagues and professionals.
Oh, boy. All right, we're signing out on the building code. Thanks for joining us. Zach Patovich.
Charley Burtwhistle.
We'll catch you next time.
See ya.
Thanks for watching the video. Remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel for exclusive content brought to you by Buildertrend.